I do have like one final topic that I would like love to talk to you about, and it kind of incorporates what we were speaking about. You've talked a lot about being on different sets and stuff.
Mhm.
From Creator Games, which was a YouTube set, and then Escape the Night, which is also a YouTube set. I really need to know the lore about Escape the Night. Sorry, I had to ask this. How different was the two set experiences for you? I know you had seemingly a good time on Escape the Night, but they're both two YouTube original ones ran
Right,
by YouTubers with a
right.
crew, and they also have a budget. So, like, how would you compare or not?
Adam, this is a great question because I actually got asked this question a lot. So a lot of people who were defending Jimmy, Mr. Beast, were saying, even in Creator Games 3, they were like, well, he probably didn't edit you out. YouTube probably did. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's not how YouTube originals work.
Yeah.
YouTube originals, they're like, they finance the project. They're the money. They pay
Yeah.
for it. They do not produce it. They aren't a
Okay.
part of that in any
Oh,
way.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So they financially back them. And then it's up to the YouTuber. You can either pick a production company, or if you have your own production company, you can do that.
Hmm.
So again, Mr. Beast was in full control of Creator Games 1, 2, and 3. And when I called YouTube to ask them for the footage, they said, we absolutely do not have any of the footage because we gave everything, Jimmy has all of that. You'll have to talk to him. They also said, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist because that's not ever a hole I want to go down, but
Yeah.
I just found it a coincidence that after Creator Games 3 was filmed, Adam, they fired the entire YouTube original program. It's gone.
No
They
way.
they fired everyone. It doesn't exist anymore.
I thought Escape the Night just didn't get another season. You mean it's all gone?
Gone.
Wow, I really don't know what to. You've kind of hit
Yeah,
me with a stump there. I didn't really know that
they,
that was a thing.
they told me that they're gonna be so mad at me for saying this, but yeah, they told me that there was not one person that I could talk to because they were all fired, they were all let go, and nobody knows anything. And
Don't
I've
really know how
always
to
had,
comment on that. Like, what the
yeah,
hell?
I've always had a really good rapport with YouTube. I've worked with them. They've changed my life. I love
Yeah.
YouTube. I've worked with my reps for a, forever, and it like I've never gotten such a cold response from them, like a
Yeah.
ever. Our communication has always been open and flowing, and they've been helpful, and they tell me everything that they can, and it's always been very back and forth. And this is the first time that when I asked, like, hey, what happened? I'd like to go see the footage. They were like, nope, and the whole division was fired and it doesn't exist anymore and you can't talk to anyone.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, like, again, whenever it was a thing, from just so we can kind of stop the argument of
Yeah.
people saying that a YouTuber doesn't know better, you have been open about the difference in having a good experience on Escape the Night, which was a YouTuber ran show. Like Daniel was, producing it, and Joey as well. To kind
Right.
of end preemptively any comments I may get about, well, he's a YouTuber. Can you talk about like the differences and like how it is possible for a YouTuber to like not
Absolutely.
fuck up?
Yeah, it's so easy. So, you just hire an amazing production company that does this type of show, and they've done it for years, and they're qualified, and they know what they're doing. So with Jimmy's, it was his production team, the editor. I mean, I literally recognize one of the editors, one of Logan Paul's editors. Like
Of
it's
course.
YouTube people, versus production companies that have a lot of experience in traditional spaces and making those larger scale shows that we see on television,
Yeah.
and doing it with safety standards in place. So, like Joey and Daniel's Escape the Night, they partnered with an amazing production company. Adam, they had a huge crew and they took great care of us. It was super professional. Like we did our wardrobe fittings at Universal Studios, like on the lot. We got to drive
Mhm.
on the back lot and go in their like wardrobe fashion house, and it just like you would a TV show or a movie. It was the
Mhm.
same level of high quality standard on Escape the Night 3 and 4. Um, Jimmy's Jimmy's was like filming a YouTube video with a friend. I think the thing that was only impressive was that it was at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
And they put like on the reader boards the Beast logo everywhere. And that was like cool to see because of the location. But in
Mhm.
terms of production, it was not as professional.
Mhm.
And I I am just really worried about the contestants because that many of them in his hands.
I mean, again,
Um,
I think I have one final question when it comes to the Mr. Beast situation. And the only reason I'm asking this is because when I had
no,
posted
please
online,
tell me.
when we were gonna have like this conversation, everyone was asking this question, and it's nothing bad about you, it's nothing bad about Mr. Beast. I just don't particularly like the question because people have asked me it about situations in the past, and I'm like, well, I don't really know what to say. The question was, people are like, what do you want to happen? Like, what do you want Mr. Beast to say or do? And the reason I don't like that question is, again, things have been worded very similar to me, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't have to be the one to make the fucking decision. You know what I mean? But just on the basis of literally the most asked question in terms of you currently right now, what do you think is the best outcome that Jimmy could do, the production team could do, Amazon could do, anyone? And again, it's a very iffy question because you shouldn't have to make the decision nor have to really comment on it. But I feel like my audience would be very pissed if I didn't ask because they all asked that one damn question.
Yeah, what would I want him to do? Well, if I was in his shoes, I try to imagine me being in someone else's shoes. If I was in this position, I would probably, for safety reasons, pause filming the show and team up with a union production company that is top notch. I would
Mhm.
team up with a union production company that is stellar, that is amazing. I would also be open to any suggestions that Amazon executives or anyone had to partner with. From what I have been told, is that Jimmy did not want to do this. What I have been told is that he wanted full control of the show, so he could choose whoever he wanted to work with. Whereas other networks would say, yeah, we'll make you an offer to do the show, but we'd like to guide you. Like, we'd
Mhm.
like to suggest a few different, maybe production companies to pick from because they're trusted. We like them. But he did not want that. Um, so if I was him, I would take advice of people who are experienced in the traditional space and partner with a reputable and an amazing, a phenomenal. I would. He always talks about his company is the best in America, and ever the
Best to work
best
for,
company, the
babe.
best chocolate ever made. I don't know why he wouldn't hire the best production
Yeah.
company, and it's because I just don't. I don't think that he. I'm not going to speak for him, but from what I.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, I appreciate you answering that because again, it's kind of an iffy question. Okay, I'm gonna put like a full stop on the Mr. Beast thing. It's gonna, or I'll put a comment because it is constantly developing, and I would love to talk to you again about it. Sorry, I do have one last thing to say, and I feel like my muckers would absolutely kill me if I didn't bring this up and ask you.
okay, okay, I'm ready.
On Escape of the Night,
Yeah.
we're aware that you had a great experience, and we've talked that it's been very, the crew handled everything well. Gabbie Hanna
Oh,
needs to talk as someone who was on the show when
yeah.
she was posting that expose of Escape the Night. The only reason I'm asking this is because you were vocal at the time. So I feel like I can't ask you because you've already said
Yeah.
this online. From
Yeah.
someone who was on the show and you had a great experience, I guess my question is, when she was doing that series, which I just recently rewatched on my channel, and it was absolutely crazy, and I went through your statements and stuff. What was it like having a fellow creator who was a part of something kind of drag you all down and like fuck all y'all? And ultimately we all know in the end um that the story came out, Joey and Daniel, you spoke up. I think we got a pretty clear understanding of what actually happened, but I would love to know, like, internally in your mind, from someone who lived it, experienced it, has been on other sets as well, knows that that's not a standard for people to act and then expose or whatever. How was that for you?
I think one of the words is uncomfortable or just embarrassing. And also I am aware that she uh was going through some like mental health
Hmm.
issues. And I think one of the things I've noticed about digital talent, especially like on YouTube, entering traditional space, because this was a traditional production company. This is they're the real deal. So I think that maybe she also hadn't had any experience working with a production company, a professional one before, but professional production companies like television shows that you watch. I've worked on the show Glee. I've worked. I was on Sunny in Philadelphia.
Your
So
lore
many
is
TV shows.
crazy.
NCIS, so many over the years, and I'll just say that they run a tight ship, and it's a
Mhm,
team effort, and that's the word, team.
mhm.
The crew works together as a team, and so do the actors. And are there sometimes some big egos in the room? Yeah, but they don't show up late to set. I mean, I've never seen that kind of behavior on any professional set. And I worked with Leah Michelle on Glee. She was never late. I mean,
Yeah.
this girl was on time, hit her marks, never missed a line. Uh, she 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 had other issues, but
Yeah.
it's just Gabbie was like, I think in her head, maybe used to how YouTube goes, where she's the center focus. The world is
Mhm.
revolving around her, not realizing this is a huge team group effort and so much money is on the line. When you have a crew of over 200 people and you're doing it the right way, it's expensive. The catering is expensive, the wardrobe is expensive. And we had to work as soon as the sun went down. We only had the evening to shoot, and as soon as the sun came up, we're done. Because it was supposed to be filmed at night. And so we
Yeah.
were outdoors a lot with those scenes. So um, you're working against the sun, you know. And I think it's just not respecting everyone else's time. Even with the wardrobe fittings, I feel like they tried to reach out to her multiple times. And I remember one day she was like, I'm at my studio. And they're like, but today's the fitting.
Yeah.
And even the wardrobe gal who was super pregnant got in the car and was driving the dresses to her studio. No one else got this treatment. And even then, she blew them off. So I, yeah, I think it's a multifaceted issue because
Mhm.
I think that she definitely had one was struggling with some mental health, but two,
Yeah.
I just don't think that she's used to working on professional sets where it's a team effort. And yeah, I think that those are kind of the two problems um going on. I remember the first day we didn't even get to start filming because her wardrobe wasn't fitting her correctly because they were having to tailor things last minute on her. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
even started late um in the last season because of her wardrobe. And to hold
I
an entire production up because one person is not a team player
yeah.
is extremely unprofessional. And that is something that gets you never called back again in the industry because you were a huge waste of time, no matter how talented you are. And even if you are super talented, when those budgets get huge for those big movies, directors and teams don't want to deal with somebody who's going to waste that much time and money and doesn't have the respect for the team and the crew who are putting in those long hours. So it's yeah, it's a respect issue. I think it's a mental health issue, and I also think it's just an inexperienced. But I know she'd been on another Escape the Night set, so I just would have
Yeah.
thought she would have maybe understood a little bit more of how those crews work. Because I love being on set. Adam, it is so fun. It's like you and the crew, it's like you're in the trenches together. Like you're like, we're
Yeah.
gonna make this show happen. Like, we break lunch together. I go out for drinks with the team afterwards. Like it's just so bonding and so fun that I can't relate to anybody who
Yeah.
doesn't enjoy it because I love it. That's why I do what I do because
Yeah.
I love that. I love people. So I don't know. I also don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did
So
did
sorry,
she
Adam. This was really long-winded. I'm
No, you're
sorry. I
fine.
don't
I
know.
loved it.
I heard
Did she
she's
ever
doing better and stuff. So I'm like, I'm really happy for her, and I hope that that's happening. Like,
Yeah.
really do. If people really make an effort to better themselves and heal and stuff, like I stand behind that. Like if it's genuine and they're really trying to do that, like I I do think that that's great. Yeah.
Did she ever reach out to you after you did the statement?
No, no, I remember online, I think she tweeted me something like, how much did Joey pay you to say that or something
Of course.
like that. And just so everybody knows, nothing. No, I just got very protective mama bear because I was there on set and
Yeah.
my
You saw it.
trailer was connected to Joey's and I saw and I heard it and I heard a lot of things that I've been around some divas even on sets and they don't behave like that. Like that
Yeah.
was it was unhinged. It was wild. It
Well, I'm glad you had a good experience ultimately on Escape the Night, and that not
yeah,
all YouTube originals sucked.
yeah.
And again, I think I'll kind of close it here. I cannot believe you gave me an hour and a half of your time. Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
did it was
No,
it really an hour and a half?
yeah, I'm saying that on terms of thank you so much because I know that you have a shit ton going on right now. Thank you so much for giving me the time and having the conversation with me.